Okay, this is the 767 from
On
Flight
runway
Factor.
16 left. On runway 16 left.
I've got an issue. It's the rudder pedals will not work with my serial port PFC rudders. I've got a new set of USBs coming, hoping that will take care of the issue. What I've done, I've got this fighter jet stick and throttle quadrant, and I've got the rudders attached to that, so at least I can move it around. But this is the big boy here. It's a beautiful airplane. It's just huge. It's got okay. There's a little apartment up here in the cockpit. It's just amazing how big this thing is. And so I've got a little bit of practice in flying it. It's really got a lot of bells and whistles to it. I can choose between three engines, three different aircraft models. I prefer the 200 cargo or freighter in Fedex colors. It's just amazing what this is capable of doing. Of course, we haven't put it through the frame rates test and all that. There'll be a little bit of tweaking to it. So we can get her up in the air and play around with her a little bit and see how she flies. We're going to bring up some maps here. This is a cool feature here.
On runway 16 left. On runway 16 left.
Everything you do is done from here. This is just absolutely awesome. So everything can pretty much be done inside VR. Well, we're back at Salt Lake. Lined up on the runway here. We'll get her up in the air, and I can get her in and land it, but I have no toe brakes. So I can slam on the parking brake as I come in. That'll get us stopped anyway, so it won't be a bloody death. So what's cool, there's a tiller on the right hand side. It doesn't manipulate like that one does, but it's like the 777. The first officer can taxi this thing around. Alright, well, let's see what we can do. Parking brakes off.
Parking brakes released.
Let's get the trim set in. She's a real powerful airplane. It's 40%. Sounds good. She's big iron, a heavy. This thing just, like a tank going down the runway. I've got to check into a 777. Back off them throttles. We got some powerful engines behind us. She's a beaut. It just shakes the floor of this sim pit. Look at that reflection off those gauges. Bring that sucker on. Remember I turned it on. Had it on the other day. There we go. Man, look at that. Oh, it's so cool looking. So I can play around with the reflections in the cockpit glass and all kinds of cool stuff. Take a left turn. I played around a little bit with the autopilot. The other day, it seems alright. The controls are laid out a little different. It's reading the manual some. It's got some different ways of doing things, but the textures in here are just awesome. Really nice. I've never seen anything quite so nice. Well done. We just have to work on them frames. Of course, there's all kinds of little things I can go do to smooth her out. Flies good. What do you think of heavy wood? Keep an eye on where our runway is. I've got my external speakers up just a touch there, and I can hear and feel the subwoofer on these bumps in the air, and this thing just rumbles. Oh, it's incredible. It's big. Ah, there's our runway. We'll just keep our speed low. Not get too high. Oh, this is going to be fun to fly. Well, all these clouds aren't really helping with the frames. I can do something about it. I'll do a little pause here. There's some of the tricks I can do. We'll go to our plug-ins and we go to our Fly with Lua. We'll go Fly with Lua macros and we hit the VMI Twic. There we go. We'll go to weather menu. Yeah, we'll back them clouds down. We'll go about there, as you can see them move. So adjust them. So I can shrink the clouds and gain a few frames. We'll try that. Our target's always 45. We're at 33 now. Wait to get those rotor pedals in, and what I had to do is buy a set of USB pedals from the same company, Precision Flight Controls. They're exact same things I have, except they're USB, not serial. So that should it plug directly to my PC, and the next plane should recognize it by itself, and it should give me control. And then we're off to the steady guides. It's a nice plane. It's huge. So we're going to try to get it into Salt Lake. We'll fly down the range here and then turn around, kind of get our bearings. Tell you what, I think I'm liking these heavies. She's gorgeous. All those buttons work. All the systems are modeled just like a real one, certified by Boeing. It's just amazing. the reflections off the glass of the displays. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you can see that. Looks like real glass. Oh man. All those buttons work. Everything does something.
Terrain.
Okay.
Terrain.
We're turning.
Terrain.
Okay, we'll turn.
Terrain.
Light them up nice. This thing looks great at night. So once I get my rudder pedal issue fixed, you know, I want to do a Fedex flight from Narita there in Japan to Manila. It's about a 4-hour deal. That'll be nice. Fly to the islands. Look at that out there. It's gorgeous. There's that. It's a flap.
Pull up. Terrain.
We get out here and swing left over that runway down there.
Pull up.
We're okay. Relax. There are all kinds of warnings. Let's give her another flap. See if that's satisfied. A little bit of float up. Nice. Oh, it sounds so good, those engines. The bad thing is you can't see your wings. And I was doing a delivery there in Amarillo one day, and they had a 777 in the hangar, and I got to go stand right up there beside it. Of course, did that at American Airlines too, but I was standing out by the wingtip looking up at the cockpit, and you couldn't even see the glass off to the right, so I know that even if he stuck his face up to that glass right there, he still could not see his wingtip. So we're at 30 frames and we're smooth. It's not too bad. I can tweak quite a bit of that. Should be able to turn parallel with that runway. Be aimed back at where I want to try to land it. Handles are nice. Easy to fly. There it is, Whipper. Alright, good get. Kept her low, kept the power out. Tell you what, this thing got some massively powerful engines. She'll haul a lot of cargo. It is just unbelievably nice interior. I really do need to look at their 777. I've got fears though because it's a X-Plane 10 design. I don't know how much updating it's been done to it for X-Plane 11. I have seen some pretty good videos on YouTube, you know, in VR. It looked pretty good, but I went ahead and went with this first because I read up on how nice it was. Look at that radar system. Oh my goodness. I need to learn how to activate that over on this side. Man. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is going to be sweet. So I've had her up in the air and did a fly around like this once before. I kind of used this to get my rudders going. Our landing is going to be horrible. I'll get her on the ground and thrust reverse and all that, but don't count on the stop to be too awful nice because I'm going to have to reach over and slam on those parking brakes. I have no toe brakes whatsoever. Well, let's go ahead and configure for landing. We'll drop some gear. 2 flaps left. Oh, she flies nice. Oh, my chair's just rumbling. So I seen a trailer, new Tom Hanks movie coming out called Greyhound. Oh, it looks awesome. A naval war movie. Looks like the film, the cinematography is going to be outstanding. Looks to be about a destroyer in World War II fighting a wolf pack, U-boats. Well, this is a gorgeous approach. Look at that, Salt Lake City. Ah, 145, going on 25. Arm our spoiler. Arm. Listen to those engines. The last flap. It's floating. No nice pitch up. We're in climb. Let's see. I know we got wipers. Look at the streaks on the windows. Unbelievable. Isn't that great? Oh, that's too much. Streaky windows. So, there is a new throttle quadrant on the horizon. It's made by an outfit called Honeycomb. And it looks pretty nice. It's priced really, really well for what it does. And Captain Ed's got the yoke, the Honeycomb yoke, and we're both looking at the Honeycomb Bravo quadrant, they call it. It will allow me to switch from a Cessna to a 4-engine jet with thrust reverse. All this stuff you see like this all comes in the package for a very reasonable price. About a third of what it costs to get one that looks like this Boeing style. There's should be out this summer, so I'm looking forward to that. Just slow down a little bit. Man, she flies good. Doesn't hardly do anything. And those engines are so powerful, they don't take any throttle. Come on now, hang with me, system. Need Vulcan desperately. Especially on these detailed aircraft like this. But it's still not bad. I mean, some of it's placement of the lighthouses and tracking and all that. Just a matter of tweaking the systems. And I do have the textures up pretty high right now. I can tone them down. You wouldn't really be able to tell much difference from the way it looks now. Earlier I was flying the Premier 1 into here, and I was listening to ATIS coming in, and they had wind shear warnings. Should still be the same live weather. Alright, 35 knots, so we're going to keep it right in this area.
1,000.
Aim for that touchdown point, and then I got to get on the reversers and get ready to hit the parking brake. Again, the warning you, it's not going to be pretty.
Approaching 16 left.
So I'd love to build a second system and tie everything together in 2 VR sets, 2 sets of controls, and get 2 people in this bad boy. Look at that radar. Oh my god.
500.
Looking good. Touch slow. Two and two. Wind is 21 knot headwind. There we go.
100.
A little high. Should be about 50 right
50,
here. There we go.
40,
Perfect.
30. 20. 10.
Should get an auto deployment of the spoiler. Well, there it goes with thrust reverse. Massive. Going to tiller. About 60 knots, so we'll come on thrust.
Five 5,000 feet remaining. Four 1,000 remaining. Three 1,000 remaining.
No brakes. Slow down enough where I can turn and taxi or not. Stand by on the park brake. Set parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake off.
Brakes released.
Alright. See if I can drive it. Flaps up. So the nose gear sits roughly probably behind us, so you got to kind of turn and put yourself over into the grass. Keep the back tires on the concrete. So we'll overswing a little. Dash. Woo. Nice airplane. I just wish the 777 was something comparable. I might have to go for it. I gotta have me a 777. But I'll start with this. I'll hold off buying anything else for a while until I get this and learned and get her running smoother. I haven't even hardly at all gone through the settings in the EFB, and this thing over here is just full of them. Pretty realistic. So they make a 757 that's just like this one. They say if you're qualified on one of these, you're qualified on both. Okay, so I like this so much, I'm gonna head her back to the runway. I'll go ahead and stop the video here for saving time, but I'm going to go fly this some more. So as I progress and learn it and get some cool stuff, I'll be sure to capture it, especially coming into Manila and all that. Ooh, wing flex, that sucker just spawned in there quick, didn't it? All right, well, thank you for watching.